my name's Anita DiPietro, and I'd like to give you a brief demonstration on how I make a copper pendant. And you can see my pieces at my website at www.anitadipietro.com. So I'm going to give an example of a copper pendant like this. Start out with a raw piece of copper, a raw sheet, and the first step would be to draw your design. Then the next step would be to cut it out with a saw. After you get your disc cut, then you want to file the edges to smooth it out and shape it. Now you're ready to do the sanding, but you want to get all your scratches out. Okay, after sanding, the next step we would do would be to texture it, and you can do this many different ways. You can use punches, you can use a rolling mill. First you need to anneal the metal, and then make it this way. This softens the metal so that the pattern will show up, and clean it off with you could use a brass brush. This piece I put through the rolling mill with a texture plate, and it transforms the pattern onto the metal. Roll it through. And you'll get the pattern on there. There's also other ways to texture metal. We can use punches. This is a cross or an X. After you have your piece textured, now you're ready to shape it. So we're going to make this more like a dome shape. When you hammer metal, the more you work it, the harder it gets. So if it starts getting too hard, you might want to anneal it again to soften it. Right now I'm cutting out the bail from the piece of tubing. You want to make sure you just file the ends. I'm gonna just sand this down with the flexible shaft and the little sanding disc. Now we're just going to embellish the piece a little bit with soldering a little piece of wire onto it. So I'm going to apply the flux on the wire right now. Once you solder it, you have to place it in the pickle to get all the residue off the flux and the fire scale and everything. Now we're getting ready to solder the bail onto the piece. And we're ready to give it a little bit of a patina to give it more of an antique feel to it. One of the ways is using this Jack's brass, bronze, and copper darkener until you get the desired color. Here's the finished pendant, and it's ready to be hung on a piece of leather or suede or a chain, whatever you want.